Hi, this is Matthew Tringali with Better Who. And in this video, we're going to answer the question of what do I need to know about taxes when it comes to hiring a remote team member. So first of all, my standard disclaimer that I am not a CPA and I'm not a tax attorney, but I have been hiring remote team members for almost 15 years now and have hired dozens for myself and hundreds for the industry, as well as what we've seen across thousands of other direct hire placements throughout the industry. So I can tell you what I do, why I do it, and what our typical client does as well. So there really are several separate questions at play here. So let me deal with them in pieces. The first question is, what about the United States government? What about the IRS? Now, thankfully, the IRS is actually crystal clear on this point. They say it in plain black and white in several places on some of their standard forms that if you're paying a non-US citizen to do work outside of the United States, then you don't owe any tax withholdings on them whatsoever. They don't owe any taxes. It's actually considered foreign sourced income, which basically means it's a non-thing to the IRS. And by definition, that is what's happening when they are doing work, even though they're doing work for your company, which is here in the United States, they are doing work outside of the United States. And as long as they're a non-US citizen, then it's a total non-thing for the United States for the IRS. Now, I do still recommend having the remote team member sign a W-8 BEN. This is a form that basically just asks them to declare those two facts, that they are a non-US citizen and that they do live outside of the United States. So now you have their declaration stating that, which is why you are then not doing any tax withholdings for them. The W-8 BEN is not something you file, it's just something that you keep on record for yourself. So that answers the question about the IRS. Now, the other question is what about the taxes that the remote team member owes in their home country? And, just like when you hire somebody here in the United States, even if they're not an employee, if you hire somebody that is an independent contractor, you also don't owe any tax withholdings on them either, but they owe taxes to their home country. It just so happens their home country is the same as your home country. It's the United States. And so it's the same principle when you hire a remote team member to do work overseas. What most folks do is they hire that person as a freelancer. And as a freelancer, that person is responsible for paying their own taxes. So all of my remote team members, that's exactly what they do. They pay taxes in their own home country based on the income that they're earning. Now, every country is a little different in their own classifications of a freelancer, but some good rules to live by to help put you in the most successful position possible with your remote team member are things like don't provide any of their materials to them. So you're not providing a computer or a physical phone or any other hardware that they're using. You're not providing an office, right? So these are all things that they're providing for themselves as a freelancer for your company. I generally also recommend, as soon as you're comfortable doing so, paying them on a flat monthly wage as opposed to an hourly wage. And I do recommend having a contract with them that sets up the freelance relationship that explains, the terms of the contract and what you're paying and what services that they are providing. So, these are some kind of base guidelines to consider as you're setting up that freelance relationship. And again, this is what we have done with a lot of our remote team members and what basically all of our clients do and what we see people doing all over the United States when they're hiring remote team members. So this is the most common practice by far. Now, there are other services available as well. So one service that we provide in Mexico in particular, because the Mexico tax system is particularly complicated compared to every other country in which we hire, the tax systems are actually a lot more simple. So in Mexico, we do have a tax service that we provide where the remote team member will still be working as a freelancer, but we have a local CPA relationship that you can engage with where that person will work directly with your remote team member to make sure that they are filing and paying their taxes correctly, just because of how complicated they are. So that's more or less a benefit that you're providing to the remote team member in that case, just to assist them in making sure that they are doing it the right way because it's so complicated. The last piece is something that's called an employee of record. And so this, depending on the country, can be expensive, but this is an option that can be considered. And so with this option, basically there would be an employee of record in the respective country, such that a remote team member would actually work for that employee of record. Then you would have a master service agreement with the EOR. And so by doing it this way, they actually would become an employee instead of a freelancer. So this covers kind of the full gamut. Again, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a tax attorney, but hopefully I've explained to you what we do, what pretty much all of our clients do, and what thousands upon thousands of people are doing across the country today in hiring their remote team members. Thanks a lot.